All right, how's it going, guys? It's been a long time. I always say that a lot of times when you guys see me again. Today is October 1st. Definitely couldn't let another month go by without getting back to you guys in the podcast. Podcast definitely didn't go away. Coming to you guys from the brand new Simple Studio. And the podcast is going to be rolling a lot now because I don't have to tear up and break down anymore. I've been prolonging this episode number 22. I've been prolonging it because the new building is an older building. Had some electrical issues. I got some things fixed enough where I can actually do the podcast. One thing I'm waiting on, which will be done tomorrow, is my actual internal grounding because people who don't know out there, Japanese houses and everything is like the grounding is different. You know, in America or whatever, you got a 3-prong for the ground and everything. But in Japan, they do like an internal grounding, which is not good enough. You might hear a little bit of noisiness. I'll try to edit it out if I can, like a little buzzing. But by tomorrow, that should be fixed. And all the rest of the podcast will have crystal clear audio. So again, 3 months ago, episode 21, the last time I came to you guys, it was with Justin James, one of my vehicle ops guys. And it was a good episode. I had Justin on again. Justin was a little bit shy, so we talked off camera about that. And again, basically kind of going back for a kind of overview for the guys who are just new to the podcast. Definitely go back and watch the other ones. You'll see from the first episode to now, the quality has drastically got better. It's not that I couldn't do the quality better. It's just that I kind of shot with what I had. Again, this room is a little bit better because it's not my I soundproofed it a little bit. I'll throw a picture up a little bit and show you guys how I look. But I added a little bit of soundproofing. It's its own little cubicle. So again, I don't have to set up and break down. I might get I got the banner right here. I might get something a little bit better looking, cool looking for the background and everything. And also I'll be working on also getting a better camera. I got an old camera there. And also, you guys, I'll have guests in here going solo for this one, but I'll be having to whereas though I can fit more guests in here and everything. So the setup will change here and there, but again, it's all good. It's all there. And again, the podcast will come more because I can just come here anytime, press record and go and everything. The live ones I won't be doing so much anymore because YouTube changed their things on how live works and everything. So, it'll be a little bit better. I'm gonna work on getting a monitor over here. So I gotta keep looking off to the side. I got my monitor and everything set up over here, and my feedback playing all my stuff, and also monitoring my audio because I don't want to do the headphones and all that stuff for me or my guests. So again, just getting right into it. I got some notes here because I don't want to ramble too long, and I got like a little bit of time. So I got a meeting or whatever. So it's going to be kind of short, but I'll be getting to them a little bit long. The format will be by myself, generally no more than an hour. When I got guests and everything, I'll go as long as the guests want to go. I think the longest one I've had to date was been Gregory. Greg went about 4 hours and everything. I knew it was going to be a lot because we talk a lot offline. I mean, we had some pretty cool conversations over the years. So just getting kind of right into it. The first bullet up here is the new shop. Again, as you guys know, not say a lot of you guys know because some of you guys, again, just clicked on it because it says podcast. But I moved from my old shop, which was about maybe 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, about 5 minutes where I'm located right now. The shop served me well for 3 years. Me and the owner, we didn't really talk at all. He's Japanese, of course, but initially, I guess he did some things that I didn't like, and me standing my ground, he didn't like and everything. So we kind of didn't really talk. And it was definitely getting towards the point where I'm starting to get a little bit bigger in the old shop. And there was a little yellow line. If you guys seen, some of you guys have followed me for a long time. It's a little yellow line that pretty much what indicates my property from his property. And when I started getting a lot of customers, some customers didn't know the rule procedures, and they would park over the line. He wouldn't really contact me, but he would contact my wife. And when I found out about that, I really wasn't pleased with that. And I kind of let him know, don't contact my wife, contact me. And, you don't got to speak Japanese for that or English for that. So it was kind of getting to the point where I knew that it was coming to an end. And I always keep my eyes out scanning, either for cars or just always looking when I'm out there in this shop. I passed it a bunch. Again, I'll throw up some little pictures for the guys who haven't seen it. I passed by it a few times. Actually, let me utilize this technology here and bring it up so you guys ain't gotta wait. I can just show it to you right now. So let me punch up the Pinku Style Facebook page. And let me see, is this gonna work or not? Or let me see. Oh, there we go. Let me see, Pinku style. This should be like the first on Google, which is I'm doing my job, as you can see right there, number one. The Google, as you can see right here, the Google Maps is updated. We had some issues or whatever with the old shop, reverting back to the old shop, but that's all up there. The hours I really want to change on the Google because it makes like confusions. And honestly, I'm not going to change the hours on my. I'll put a set time of hours, but you guys know I set the hours as I go because I'm reservation based only. I got a general operating time of 9:45 to 16:45, but Monday to Friday. But that changes from time to time when I dictate, not when the customer dictates. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up the Facebook page so you guys can look at the shop. That'll come up a little bit. I'll pull up some pictures in a second right here. It's loading up and everything. Another thing too, why it was taking so long, there was a shortage of manpower for whatever the NTT, which is the driving force for the fiber optics or whatever. And they couldn't get a guy here till like almost last week. So I've been using a Wi-Fi dongle, which I didn't want to. Again, I don't want to run things that way up here. So everything is all connected, wired. I don't like Wi-Fi too far away. And let me pull up the post. Actually, it's Wi-Fi right now. So again, right now this is the shop for the guys looking right there. You're watching. So this is the shop right here. As you can see, see where the Subaru is next to the container. If you look straight up from that, that's where we're at right now in a little booth. That's the cubicle I'm in right now. It's a pretty decent sized room, and that's where I'm shooting from right now. So it's a pretty big update from the last place. The lot that you see is all my lot right here. Had some disputes with the new owner because again there's some lost in translation things, and we got things sorted out. So he has his thing going on here, which it's a big lot. I rented out pretty much the whole shop except for one little slither of space, which is where he parks his car at, and we worked that out and everything. So the rest of the shop is all me. That's the Dirty 10 right here. I was in Dirty 10 magazine. They put an opening, so I launched it on the same day, August 19th. And again, it's just a little bit of the shop right here. It's kind of showing the outside, the big size. So obviously you can see the shop is much bigger than before. As you can see right here, the space is pretty nice and set up. Some guys came here and said, "Oh, you're gonna put more stuff in here?" No, it's simple, man. I got tools, I got space, and the biggest thing, man, you see about a lot of shops, man, they got clutter and stuff everywhere. Even though it's organized-ish, when a customer comes inside a garage, man, they see stuff strewn everywhere. And stuff all laid on the car, and every car is a tool bench, and all the 10mm sockets are all over the damn place. That stuff eats into your time, and that's what a lot of guys have, like a lot of slow turn times because you're not organized. You're looking for bolts. You lost this part. Everything should have a place or not. It's just either in the shop being utilized or it's put somewhere else. So I got other storage places where I put the stuff until I need it. But again, as you can see right here, the shop space is pretty big. It's pretty big, man. Pretty nice size shop. So definitely everything is rolling pretty good here. The Facebook page is where you're gonna see most of the stuff that I post about the shop, updates, closing time, things like that. So the new shop is going pretty well. I've actually seen it's been kind of weird since I moved. It's been, I guess, July. I think what was it? Actually, about mid-July is when I kind of shut down customers there because I didn't want to take nobody else there. And then I got back into the new shop. I didn't want to take on too many customers and have guys in between shops. So I cut everybody off, which that lost me money, believe it or not. So when I started back up, as you guys know, the guys who work with me, I kind of resumed and I was right back into it. Nothing lagged, nothing changed. It was just a new shop. Bigger space and everything, and it allows me to actually move around better and not have to move. I was spending most of the days pushing cars around and moving them out the way. So now all the cars are on a far side of the lot, out the way, and I can move around. I can navigate. I can actually, if I want to, take in more customer cars, which I generally don't like to do because it becomes like a liability. So if I'm not working on your car and it's just out there and somebody happens to back into it, then now I gotta answer for it, and I don't like answering to people. Everybody answers to somebody, but I generally take myself out of answering to anybody. So I'm not going to answer to you about why your car has a big ass dent in it. Of course, I will have to because that's the part of the responsibility of owning the business. But I'm not going to put myself in that situation. You keep your car, you keep it at your house, you drive it until I need it. And when I need it, I'll call you in, you bring it in, it comes inside, it's safe. And that's how we're going to roll because I'm not paying for your stuff if I don't have to. Been open for 3 years, and so far I've only paid for 2 cars. It was like one was a bumper scratch. I was training somebody. Something slipped, it scratched the bumper. I got that painted by Ozawa, and another one was a tool cart was moving around, and something was on the ground. The wheel cart, a wrench or something fell off the tool cart, and this scratches hood, chipped the paint. And I was like, hey man, I got a chip in it with a little bit of dent. I'll buy you a new hood because the new hood is cheaper than new hood plus painting is cheaper than buying a new OEM Mark 7 hood. So again, I just keep it real like that, man. You know, I'm not gonna allow customers haste or customer situation to put me in a bad situation, which I'll get to a little bit later on. Let me take a sip right here. But I'll get to that a little bit later. So the move was done by my man always is Quan Taylor. You always see, when guys say, oh, you guys, this and that. Quan is an assistant here, which will be on in a future episode, kind of regular, depending on the schedule. Quan is a active military member. Active military members have a lot of responsibilities. I was prior military, so I know how those things go. Again, he helps out here. He assists. He's more of an apprenticeship, learning things as he go, and as a byproduct of that, he gets shop time and things like that. But again, I don't want to, guys who are friends with Quan and they're like, oh well, he acts like he does everything by himself. 98% of it is done by me. Quan comes in and help. Straight up, Quan knows his place. I ain't got to justify that to him. Just letting people out there know who watch, who may be concerned, that I'm using him. I ain't using nobody. He's a grown man. He can come and go as he pleases. I ask him if he has time to do things. He says yes or no. And that's how we work. So, when you guys do message me and say, you guys this, you guys that, it's not any guys. I'm not paying him. So he's not a staff member until I'm paying somebody. That's when I say you guys, or, you guys can do this. It's not anybody, guys. It's just me, one guy moving all the stuff around, doing the paint, making all this happen. The bulk of the things, again, he helps out, but he's not a full-time employee. So I just gotta let that be known, let that be clear, keep it 100%, 110% straight with guys out there. So let you know how I operate and everything. So, but again, that's for the people who are asking, what does he do here and all that stuff like that. That's what he does. The move was done in 2 days, pretty much all the big stuff. The bulk of the things. We moved the cars 2 weeks prior, so that was out of the way. It was crazy, man, because you think in your mind it's like, all right, I just got this, I got that, and then when you start moving, you just see like all this shit, man. It's like fuck, and then it's like, oh, so I hate, you think like you have a little bit of stuff until you start moving stuff. I trashed well over, if I had to weigh it, because I paid 900. I paid yen wise it was whatever it was in yen, but you guys will know that, but USD equivalent, I think I paid roughly $1,300. No, actually no, 14. Not that, I don't know, maybe $1,500. Let's just say $1,500. But added up, I guarantee you it's more than that. I paid about $1,500 in trash removal alone. Just the stuff I didn't take there, tires, wheels. I was going to do like a flea market type deal, but I honestly didn't want to deal with the general public on that. So I just trashed all the parts because I did it before when I moved from another spot, and I put all the stuff up there, like old coilovers that were not. The gas was leaking, but the parts were still good. And all these guys, man, like they just kind of like blew me off until I took it to the hobby shop, and then all these fucking vultures come there and start picking these stuff. I'm not having that shit. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be, make a little bit of cash, and the guys want to like not do shit and just like vulture like that. I'll just trash it. If I can't make a sale, you can't help me out. I can't help you out. Straight like that. And that's how it is. So if you take offense to that and you are watching, sorry, not sorry. So again, I throw away a lot of shit, man, like well over 2-3 ton worth of parts. I just didn't want to transport it here. Quan was damn near dying on me. I'm just moving over here, and we moved on that fucking first week of that heat wave. So it was sorry about my language, but it was hot, man. It was in a container. I lost about at least 15 pounds of water weight, and actually it kind of helped. I mean, I'm kind of like, I got the little girly, the Under Armour that everybody teases me about or whatever. But I'm not a little guy. Never been. Not since I was about 15, 14 when I started lifting weights, taking creatine and all that good stuff. So, yeah, man, it's just the move was the move. We got here, and then after you got here, it was like, getting everything set up. The power, 220 power, was put in right away. Then again, he helped out a lot, but then the brunt of it, like the painting, I did all of the painting. The biggest time consuming thing was painting the damn floor. The floor took about at least. It took at least 2 hours to straight the roller and that stuff on, because I was by myself for that. So that was a pain in the ass. And then getting the wall set up, because I didn't like the open the frame look. Actually, come to find out, the walls are actually insulated already. So already, in all facets, this shop is a win compared to the old shop, because again, it's the space. I could do more business. I got more space for storage. Everything is a win. There's the other shop, of course you miss it a little bit, but it's already out my mind. It's like I see the old pictures, like, man, I was there, and that was only like 2 months ago. And then like people said, some guys out there, my buddy Cadell Johnson, who's going to be on the show a little bit, he's like, hey, man, you went from here to there to now you're here, man. And the thing about it, I'm the type of guy, yeah, I came here, got all these cars and everything, I got the business, but I'm still not content. There's so much more I want to do until I'm content. And I think even when I get to that level, I'm just the type of person where it's always next. It's like I'm never content. It's a bad thing, because you feel it kind of seems like you're not grateful for what you have. But at the same time, it keeps you focused and keeps you driven. It keeps you waking up every day, and it keeps you drive. A lot of guys out there, I'm a vet. I've been to Iraq. I did 3 tours. I've seen stuff. I've been hit by IEDs. I've seen people's legs busted open. I've seen terrorists get ripped in half right in front of me by 50 cal bullets. Far I could see them turn into the pink mist or whatever. So I've seen people die in real time. And it wasn't a big shocker, because again, I come from Baltimore, kind of getting our topic right here, but kind of tying everything in together. The business and everything, the reason why I pushed so hard is because I lost a lot of time over there in Iraq, 3 years of my life. And it's like time kind of stops, man. When you're on MSR Tampa and you wait for EOD to blow up IEDs and everything, you just, you look into the darkness. Like I said before in different videos, you look into the darkness and you just see nothing. And then you just think, it's just you in a truck. And a truck, for me, it's a tractor trailer. So it's me and my co-driver or whatever. So we, most times, they're doing their thing or checking out messages or whatever, or, either, not supposed to sleep, but it happens. So one person will take turn watch, other person get like a little shut eye or whatever, and alternate. So you're generally not talking to each other. So you're just thinking, and you're like, I'm on MSR Tampa. It's about, 12, 01 in the morning, which in the States or whatever, actually everybody is already awake. So you're just thinking like, what is everybody doing there? I'm here. I got people out there watching me. I can't see them, but they can see me for sure. And, all in all, kind of like fucking lost topic of what I was talking about. But all in all, tying the Iraq stuff into kind of a little bit of PTSD I have right now, which kind of translates into the way I operate my business here and the way I run everything here. It's because of that. Some people bitch about it and everything, and they feel like they don't have nothing to do and nothing of self-worth. And all of that shit, that just got my mind. So pretty much all of the stuff that I went through right there is a self-worth and everything. All the things I've accomplished, recently in the recent years as a result of that drive I have in Iraq and everything. And what it does, it just gives you a sense of purpose of getting up every day, accomplishing stuff, and not feeling like you're a waste of space. Because once you start feeling like that, those thoughts creep in, and again, the 22 a day or whatever it is for the suicide rates is real. I'm on a few vet pages, and the guys, sometimes you don't know if they're really serious, or if they're really crying out for help. That saying they're suicidal and all that stuff like that. And even though I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, this fucking guy, but I'll even say something like, man, all the stuff you put on there, you identified all your issues, work them out. Somebody definitely out there cares about you. And stuff like, I'll say something like that, and then I'll move on my day, because you'll be about 200, 300 comments and everything. And I'm just, I'm sorry, man. It's way too much going on. Way too many people that have less stuff than you. My thing is, if you have the ability to post on social media, your life is not bad. I don't care what your life is like. If you're posting on social media, you have a phone, you have internet connection, you have some source of, somebody whose life is not bad, who has internet connection that allows you to post from that account. If you're online, your life ain't bad. I'm sorry. You might have shit going on. Don't put it online because nobody cares. You don't see me put my stuff online. Only thing I put online is promotional stuff. So when shit happens, it happens. I'll deal with whoever is causing me trouble face to face, but I'm never going to put some random ass posts online because people don't care. They sit back, grab their popcorn, and they look at you and like, oh, you're failing. Case in point, when I moved here, I put a thing out. Everybody didn't follow me. Sure enough, I got back. Oh, Pink style clothes. I knew we wasn't going to last. Now, motherfucker, I moved to a bigger place. I'm winning. I'm minding my fucking business. I'm doing my thing. I'm cussing. Who don't support me, and they'll go everywhere else in fucking Japan and spend all this money, but they'll complain about my damn prices, which I'll get to later. They're saying people are watching this video, so to you, fuck you, straight up and down. Go up and do some stuff. If you got an issue with me, come talk to me, because I hear all the shit that you say by other people who come to me unsolicited. They come to me and tell me stuff, and I used to get pissed about it, but I kind of blow it off, because again, if you ain't talking to me in my face, looking me in my eyes, it doesn't mean anything. You're not a man. You're a coward. And if I got an issue with you, I'm going to come to you and talk to you. And that's how it's going to roll. So again, I don't want to get like, I want to keep it positive, but it's been in the 2 months that I've been here. It's been a lot of stuff going on, a lot of disloyal people. I'm a loyal person to the people who help me out. People who are disloyal, you're gonna see that. And I might, it's a game you play. You got to entertain people, and as long as you got to entertain them. But trust me, I watch you, and I watch what you're doing. I watch how you move. I sit back and I calculate things, because I'm by myself. That gives me an opportunity to actually sit back and analyze things. And that's part of the stuff that, I picked up from Iraq, the training, scanning people, reading people very quickly, making an assessment on people, how they move, eye movement, lip movement, gestures, body movement, all that stuff plays in the factor how the person moves. If a person can't make eye contact with you, constantly stuttering, constantly, sweating, or constantly making excuses, they're a bullshit person, and you should watch out for them. I mean, if you know a person out there is bad, don't get involved with them. So that's kind of like, on a move and everything. I want to get into the customer stuff a little bit later, but that just kind of like, there's a lot of stuff that, that just happened in the 2 months. I'm human. Everybody gets bothered by things. I internalize things a lot. During the course of that month, I keep things in so much that, sometimes, and it happens, man. You guys out there who know what I'm talking about, if you're watching this, I've had a couple, one or two incidents where a customer came in at the wrong time after me dealing with another customer who was a straight up dickbag and had no aspirations of doing serious business. And I kind of like flipped on not flipped out on somebody, man, because it's like they kind of came in with a certain energy that triggered that moment. And I should have actually told them, like, wait a minute, and like just went into the back, which I'll do. I'll go into the back, or kind of like, decompress a little bit, just breathe a little bit, and then talk to them, because their situation is not the last customer situation, but it kind of went in line a little bit. And so I was kind of like already ginned up for it, and put myself there. And the thing about it, it's kind of scary, because, as a rapid pace as I went off, while I was going off, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I calm myself down mid going off, and then I just go from fucking pretty much screaming to how I'm talking right now. So the person looking at me is like, what the fuck just happened, man? This dude's like bipolar. And it happened recently. And one guy, while I was going off kind of on the situation, which was somewhat valid, I could kind of see the guy's reactions, like, dude, what the fuck's going on, man? He's like, he was not in a confrontational mode, but it just it happened that way. I don't hold back what I gotta say. So the thing about it, man, if you're nice and cheerful, and some guys are seeing it, I know they've seen it because they hear stuff from other people, and then they come and actually talk to me, and it's totally different. Like whatever they heard, they're like, man, this guy is like not really bad. It's just that the energy that you gave me, it was fine. So my thing is, I never give bad energy initially to somebody because I don't want it back. So you put out what you get, you receive what you put out. So the thing about it, if you put out some shitty energy, I'm going to match that shit, because the thing about it, if you're doing that to me, you probably do it to you're trying to do it because you're not going to be successful with me. I'm not a badass. I can defend myself. I fight or whatever. there's generally no need to even like discuss that because I'm not gonna waste my freedom or whatever beating somebody's ass or whatever. So just to put that out there, so that's on the table or off the table. I'm not gonna put I carry myself a certain way until I'm spoken to. I don't feel like I'm not a black guy. I'm not a loud boisterous black guy for no fucking reason. So some people are shocked by that. They think I'm shy. The thing is, I speak when I need to. I can speak in front of as many people as I need to. I'm public speaker is cool. But it's at the same time, people who run their mouth a lot, generally when shit goes down, they're the first people to get quiet. They're the first people to freeze up. They're the first people to panic. I'm the type of person where I'm waiting for stuff to pop off because I know how I'm going to react because I've done it. I've been in war. I've been hit by IEDs. I've set up. I reacted. I've done things. The thing about that, if you're next to death and you can react in any situation. So that's one thing I'm proud about myself that I can do. And that's why, again, I come across like that. There's a level of cockiness. There's a level of confidence. And when people who are unconfident, they're not sure of themselves, and they meet somebody who is sure of themselves 110%, know what they're doing in their life, know where they're going, know what they're going to be doing, in the next 2 weeks, the next 3 weeks, whatever, has things planned out, but has the ability to be flexible. People are pretty much they're challenged, not challenged by, what's a good word for it? They're kind of like somewhat offended by it, or they're intimidated. They're intimidated by somebody who knows what they're going to do, know where they're going to be at, know what they want in life. And generally people who don't know what they want in life, they just like sit back and like, oh, that guy thinks he's the shit and he thinks he's that and he thinks he's whatever. The thing is, man, again, everybody out there who wake up a certain amount of days, you got those amount of seconds on the clock every day. What are you going to do with them? And what you do with those seconds and those days is what's going to determine your outcome. I try to accomplish something every day. I mean, even if I take a day off and do family stuff, honestly, I'm still doing work stuff. While my kids are sleeping, I'll jump on the email, answer some emails, do some things, make some notes about how I'm going to respond to certain emails because some emails need a certain time to respond to. You can't do it on the weekends or they can't get to other resources. So it's just, yeah, man, it's just how you're built, how you're made, and you got to carry yourself a certain way. So again, getting on the fucking wild tangent here. So, all right, that's that. So let's move into my next bullet. So I'm gonna mark these off. I already got the new shop, the move and everything. So one thing again, it's October 1st. The reason why I wanted to put this out there because I'm gonna take this excerpt from this podcast. All right, so today is October 1st out there. Everybody with Pinku Style customers and everything. Pinku Style runs under automotive industry. Here in Japan, automotive industries have moved up to 10%. Guys that are doing groceries and things like that, you stay at 8%. Other shops or other businesses inside of Japan will tell you where everything goes up. Everything involved in my business has went up 10%. Everything. So if you order from Yahoo, that used to be 2,500 yen. It's 2,500 yen. That's going to go up. So everything, once you send everything that, guys are there sending invoices, things that I sent invoices to, those are all invalid. Unless you got an invoice from today forward, it's invalid because the 8% does not matter anymore. You didn't come here and pay. The guys who already submitted cash or whatever, before that, they're fine. They're grandfathered in because they paid it already in full before that. So you already got that taken care of and everything. But this is pretty much, again, my announcement saying that Japan, as of now, and it's not going to go backwards, it's going to go up. It's moved from 8% to 10% tax on all services individually and as a whole. The parts and all that stuff is going up. Labor is going to go up. Labor's gone up. So if you get an invoice now, again, it's going to change. Some guys are there actually, a few guys who use card. I've been open 3 years, and I seriously, I've had maybe 6 customers out of 3 years, and out of the many customers I've had asked to use card because I say on my thing right there, I don't take cards. So no, they read it and they heed it. I don't take card because cards require 5%. Cards require a percentage to operate. Cards require 5% to charge, and then you got to factor in now 5%. The percentage fee to operate that I got to pay that you're going to charge for, the 5% fee to use a credit card to charge it, and also the 10%. So say you got, whatever is, Ichiman yen or 100 something bucks, $100 plus percentage plus 5% plus 10%, figure it out. Then you got, say you're buying a car, that percentage plus 5% plus 10% is going to equal this. Instead of you going to the bank, drafting the money out, calling your bank saying, I need to take out $5,000, go to the ATM, pull it off. But your lack of planning is not an issue for me. I need to take yen. If I specify USDs because I'm doing something else that I need USD for, and most times USD, when I'm taking that, it's not associated to my official business. I can do side stuff as well. So when I'm doing official business, Pinku style invoice is going to be yen only, no ifs, ands, or buts. Or you can do a bank transfer, which has to be transferred to me before the job is done, not after. So your car or whatever, if you're going to do bank transfer, I'm going to tell you it'll be done tomorrow, barring any crazy stuff, which the bulk of the job will be done. If you want to do that, you could do a bank transfer, which has to be processed 3 days prior to the finish. And then I need to collect money on the day of, not after. If it's after, your car will sit until you pay. And I'm not going to, nobody out there. Nobody out there is above, there's no special stuff. And that's why, again, I'll get into the customer stuff, kind of leading to that next. So I run a certain way. So anyway, just in a nutshell, that's it. All business, so if you're so guys out there are dealing with other companies in Japan, you're gonna see a spike up in fees. You're not getting taken. It's because 10% went up. We have to pay tax on the dollar, the yen. So we got to pay those taxes, or we'll be in jail or out of business, pretty much. So that's not happening to me. I've been on my taxes since I started, and I haven't had any issues, and I will not have any issues because I'm not hiding anything. And the taxes here are just as rough, if not rougher, than in the States. So all my business owners out there, entrepreneurs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's legit. So definitely stay on that. So gonna move off of that. So that's just that right there, 8% to 10%. All right, so the next thing right here we got is customer relations. This is a big topic because, again, I moved to the new shop. Some people have seen it as if they be coming here, stopping by, and I got, I'm still not settled, even though I've been there 2 months. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Again, I'm doing it, solo. So I got the business is running. The business part is running, but there's still some things I'm doing, like I'm building it. I just actually today, I was going to be finishing up a chaser to get up for sale, but I ended up taking that day today and just doing a bunch of moving around. Freed up space for the paint booth I'm going to be setting up downstairs for sure, for my own personal use and small parts painting, which is going to be paint booth is going to be right under the actual under this thing right here. So I got to kind of proof this up so it doesn't smell like paint for my guest that comes here and everything. So there's going to be a paint booth full up here. I may entertain the thing of renting it out, and I'll do a test trial. If you say it's going to take 3 days to paint, I'm going to charge 3 days. If it takes 4 days, you're going to get charged over. Your car will not leave here until it's paid off. So we'll see how that works out, but it's definitely not going to be no shit where you're going to take your car apart and then go to TDY because your shit will be kicked out and placed on your yard somewhere. So I'll get with guys on that. So if I'm going to do it, I just don't want people hanging out here. I just don't like it. I don't like it. So customer relations, it's an important thing. Definitely the customers out there, they keep things running, they buy stuff, and they keep you open. But it's a little bit different than, say, like you're dealing with Apple. You're not dealing with Apple, a major corporation, multi-billion-dollar corporation, or whatever they're at. You're dealing with a solo guy. You're dealing with a single entrepreneur-based company, military-owned, operated. So things are a little bit different, militant, orderly run. So if you're used to dealing with like another set of people who don't do things properly, you kind of get used to that. When you come and deal with me, things are going to be done at a certain rate, a certain way, or not at all. So the thing about this, everything is done 100% my way. There's no like a customer doesn't tell me I'm going to be there at this time. I tell the customer I want to be here. It's not that I'm trying to be a dick or whatever, but again, your timeline is your timeline. My timeline is my timeline. When I was military and I dealt with all these different businesses I was here since 2008. I got out 2012. So that's a good amount of time. And I dealt with a lot of companies, and I dealt with the companies on their time. You know what I mean? I can't shit, man, 1 second. Sorry about that. Gotta turn this thing off. But what I'm getting at is I can't even Damn, man, I lost train of thought, man. So basically, you can't because your mission is a certain way that you think somebody else is going to change for you. And the thing, for me, I get pissed about it, and I let guys know that straight up, your mission, your daily whatever has nothing to do with my timeline. I set a time. You got to be here at 10 o'clock. You got to be here at 10 o'clock. You're military. You know how to be punctual. If you're running 15 minutes late, then just give me a courtesy call. Say I'm 15 minutes late. Around 10:30, I'm about to start calling you because we're about to cancel this appointment. And if it's a refund, what I mean, if it's if a lengthy job, it's whatever. But I mean, I need your car at the time I say so I can get finished at the time I say I'm gonna get finished. So the it's like it's gonna be you gotta be here when I say be here, because that's how things are gonna work. The time is factored in and all that good stuff. All right, so if I said you got to be here at 10 o'clock, it's not that I'm trying to tell you what to do, but again, I need you here at 10 o'clock so I can get done at this time, get everything started and stuff like that. All right, kind of moving along a little bit, kind of beat that up a little bit, but anyway, more into customer relations and everything. Again, as far as the online thing, it gets kind of misconstrued between Facebook, Instagram, and all that good stuff. Facebook, Instagram, and any social media outlets. Again, I say this a lot, but again, I know I'm getting a lot of new viewers, new customers, things like that. All those outlets for social media stuff is simply promotional only, making initial contact, but all the bulk of everything is going to happen email and then face-to-face, with phone calls being kind of done, if we have to do them. If you're like, you can't really make it and we have to talk. Email is kind of meant for to go over the bare basics, a little bit into like the thick of things, but not too thick, because too much text without face-to-face communication or even voice is just, again, misconstrued. And you text, you don't know how the person is saying something. You don't know the demeanor of the person on the other end, me talking to the other person or a person reading my comments. And it's gotten back to me that people think I'm too stern or whatever. A lot of shit gets back to me because people out there talk or whatever. They do unmanly like things versus going to another man face to face and saying what's going on and everything. So again, I prefer email to do to get numbers, because again, when you come to my shop, meetings are appointment based only. If you just come here for a quick jab, like quick 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, a quick jab is like in and out, cool. But if it's going to take more than 15 minutes, we need a schedule a meeting, because if I'm busy with another customer's car, you got to respect that customer car. Just like if your car was on a lift and everything, I wouldn't stop working on your car to entertain somebody else who's coming in out of order. Everybody who's been in here with me long enough know how I operate. It's just the thing about it, is if you want to play ball. I put out an automated message on my Facebook, which says it just says automatic. Cool thing about Facebook, it says automatic to contact me for any business dealings. If your question is saying something like, "Hey, are you at the shop?" or something like that, if I got time and if I got the phone on me, by the time if I see it right then and there, I'll say yes, I'm at the shop. Then we're done. But if I see it like, "Hey, are you at the shop?" and I see my phone, because sometimes I don't have my phone on welding or whatever, I see it 30 minutes later, I'm not going to respond, because obviously you're not going to wait 30 minutes for me to respond. You're going to move on with your life. I'm going to move on with my life. Generally, some people, they'll drop that and then they'll just stop over, and then I'll kind of approach them. Like some people seem like, "Hey, what can I do for you?" Because again, I'm not going to drop what I'm doing to work with you, because the thing about it, I don't do numbers on the spot, because most of the times numbers on the spot are inaccurate. Because you haven't talked to the different faculties you have to talk to. And also, again, I'm not going to sit there and I got pistons or whatever in my hand, like to say all the time. I got critical stuff going on. I'm not going to just drop that where I'm at and then focus on what you got to do, because again, I got a certain mindset going. I'm very meticulous with my work, and it's happened. It's happened one time already. I was doing something. Guy came in. And when I first started the business and everything, guy came in. I was working with an RX-7, and it was with the fuel system. And the guy came in, and I just opened up. So I kind of, I still do it right now. I want to put my best foot forward when I first meet somebody. But I was kind of eager to get hey man, this guy seemed like he's about to, was saying something about a clutch, and I did do the job and everything. But he was like, his clutch was done. I was like, all right, clutch is going to be a pretty decent payday. in theory, just for one payday. And so I went in there. We sat down and we went on Yahoo and all that stuff. And I was like, and after that, man, I was like, we can't do this again. So I stopped right then and there. So anyway, he came in and I was doing a fuel system. I was just buttoning it up. I told him, like, hey, wait a minute. You can step inside the parts room, where my old shop was like the parts room / office, which the new one is not. I'll do a video when I'll show you guys the whole shop. I'll do a little walk around and everything when I get a chance. But anyway, he went in there. We sat down, went on Yahoo. Ended up being about 35 minutes because he didn't know how clutch systems worked, and ended up explaining things a little bit longer than I should have explained things. And I looked up, man. It was like, damn. It was like almost 30 minutes and everything. 1 second, guys. All right, I got a new computer for this podcast and everything, so I gotta turn some of this stuff off so I can control everything. But anyway, the guy we ended up talking, got into the thing like I looked down like, shit, man, it's been 30 minutes talking to this guy about clutch systems and what kind of clutch work, Kevlar metallic, organic, copper mix, all this different stuff, Kevlar mix and everything, and he was impressed about the thing. I did the job, I got paid for it later, but what happened was after I got done with the guy, my mindset had switched from working on this ARC-7 fuel system to servicing this guy to going back to that. And again, I'm good at what I do, but humans are humans. You can't really. We do it all the time. We multitask all the time. I do it every day, and there's pros and cons to multitasking because you're only meant to do one task at a time. And generally, when you start adding tasks, multi-threading, all that stuff like your computer, you can't process your old ass prehistoric computer and stuff like that. So anyway, I went back on there. I was like, all right, cool. I remember I put the bolts in there. I checked the lines and stuff like that, and then I plugged it. I put the thing back on. This particular job was a pain in the ass because the guy installed this goddamn battery on top of the fuel tank. So I had to take the battery out the battery box completely off to get to the damn fuel door. So then I put all that stuff back on, bolt all the stuff back down, tie everything back down. Started the car, but the car started up, and I noticed that the gauge for the fuel gauge was below E, and it was like at 3/4 when I started the job, so I know it was fuel in there. What happened was I didn't put the ground strap back on the ground terminal back on the actual grounding for the body, which sends the grounding to the terminal for the your fuel level. So I knew exactly what it was. I was like, "Fuck, man." And I had to take all the stuff back out, to take the fucking big ass dumb battery out, but you don't need those stupid big ass batteries in these cars. You don't need it. It doesn't make your performance up. It just is a big stupid ass battery. So to take this big ass battery out, take the stuff out, take the bolts out, take the wing nuts off, pull all the stuff off, pull all the bolts back out just to clip that one clip on. And that's because I let a customer come in, which I do not do. So some of you guys who watch have seen it and experienced that. When you come in here and I'm heavily engaged in something, I will tell you, seriously, what do you want? I'll write it down on my notepad. See you later. Got to do it. I can't, again, everybody has things to do. And again, it's disrespectful for you to come in and just assume I'm going to run from a customer's car to your car. The same thing is, if, again, take this kind of put yourself in another person's shoes. They waited, a month and a half to get their car here. Their car is here. And now I got to tell them a day because, you wasted an hour of my time talking about something that you're probably not going to do. Then the hour goes away. Then, hey, man, your car is going to be done today, but I got customers coming in, and I had to push it back. There are some times when I will, pick up a part, stuff like that. Again, 5 minutes more, and then we're done. You got to go about your way, and I'll see you later. Email me, even though, and people I know, when I said to them, they look at me weird. When we're talking, again, I'll take a quick note, but I'm not taking all the details down. You're talking a lot of stuff, what you want to do. Go home, formulate those thoughts, email it to me, and then when I get a chance, when I'm not, because my mind is on a job at task. So I might say something that's not accurate. As far as like a timeline or something like that, I don't memorize my calendar because it's the computer does it. So I don't know what the time and date and all that stuff, because again, I utilize my computer for that. I don't need to memorize that because I already got enough stuff to memorize as far as how to work on cars and everything. So I let the computers do what they can do. I'll do what I do. So again, when you come there and you're talking, I'll say, hey, okay, yeah, we got to cut this off. I got to get back to it. No bullshit. Email what you're saying to me is great, but email it to me. That way, when I get a chance later on to sit down and process this, when I get a chance away from this car, I process everything. I'll make you a proper quote and everything. out there can say, there's in my 3 years open, there's been very little times where after I've done the job, I've come back to the customer and say, hey, I need more money or whatever, because I know exactly, unless your car has some janky stuff going on with it that I couldn't see until I start taking away parts and everything, and then people, shitty mechanics out there think stuff's gonna be hidden and everything. When I see that something's welded together or something's held on with a zip tie or something's off that has to be fixed and I'm not going to be liable for, like, hey, it has to be fixed to do my job properly, then I'll say, hey, it'll be like $5,000. It is never like hundreds of dollars more, because I don't rush a quote, and everybody out there should respect that. When you go to pick up your car, the number one thing in the car industry is, hey, it's going to be more than what it is. When guys come pick up that car, it is what it is. I mean, again, unless there's something out of my control that is different, that price is going to maintain the same. And again, I can't do that if you come in to my business and you just want a price quote on a spot, because we're going to need one thing that all modifications or materials need is parts. I don't make anything in shop. I don't make boots. I don't make, I'm going to start making some small things, but I don't make, throat bearings or thrust bearings. I don't make bearings. You got to buy that stuff. So I can't get you a price from the spot, because I got to call or fax to these other companies and get a price. You're not going to sit there in front of me. I'm not going to sit there 20 minutes waiting for a fax or a reply to come while we're just looking at each other in each other's eyes. I'm going to do that and then get back to you. I'm not going to do it on the spot. And again, for people to understand that, I'm telling you right now, is just because, again, put yourself in that situation. Your car's on a lift. Somebody comes in here. I take away time from your car. And then the next thing you know, I'm not getting your car back the next day. I'm not getting it back the next day. It just has to be like that, because, again, I'm a solo shop. I prefer it that way for right now. To be really honest, I don't want anybody in my mix, because I'm just starting out. I ain't got time for other humans bullshit. Everybody got shit with them. People could say I got shit with me, and that could be just, the positive stuff that we have in my business. It just doesn't it doesn't please everybody. So I got shit with me. Everybody got shit with themselves or whatever. But again, I rather have my shit with me, which is being a controlled, organized setup, not out of order. When you come to my shop's clean. I'm not looking like no fucking bum. I got a uniform on all the time. I got my name on it. That way I'm Pinku style. I'm not just walking around in a flannel shirt, dirty ass shirt, dirty pants and shoes. It's like, are you a customer or you work here? You know what I mean? I work here. You always see my name on it some way. If you ever come to my shop and you see me in like a pair of khakis or in a regular shirt, that means I ain't working. That means I'm here doing my own thing. I'm here entertaining my family, whatever, and it ain't business time today. And I'll tell you that straight away. Go away. Again, I'm not trying to be a dick to guys, but you got to keep it straight up with businesses. There's some friendships are formed as a way of business, but it's still business. And everybody out there who I'm friends with as a result of doing a lot of business with, they'll still tell you, we'll talk and chop it up a little bit, but when it's time to business, we do business. And that's one thing I never forget, because again, I got bills to pay, I got kids to feed and all that stuff. And that shit I don't bring up, because it's pretty much none of your business. And I don't got to explain why I'm doing certain things and everything. I'm going to tell you again what time you got to be here, what time I need to get your car in, and what time we're going to do things, because that's the way I like to operate, and it's militant. You're military. Most of my guys are military, my customers. I'm here, so I don't understand why some people get a deal with that. You got appointments, you got timelines, you got military is deadlines. That's all it is, everyday deadlines. You got PT, you got to be at whatever. So why when you come here in my fucking zone is an issue all of a sudden? I don't work. When you come here to do stuff, I perform a task, you get it back. I don't work for you. I don't work. You don't pay me a salary. You pay me one time, and then maybe don't see you again. So you're not an investor in my company. You're a customer, and just like business owners have their responsibility and things like that, customers have a responsibility too. And it seems like a lot of people don't realize that as a customer of a business, you should know what you're getting into. You should know what you're buying. You should know what you're doing, because if you don't do that for research, you're just going there dumb. Then you're going to have, what is this? What is that? What is that? You think the guy's trying to take you. Some customers put themselves in a situation because they don't have situation awareness. When you go to a shop and you're going to get an engine built and you notice, you look in the background and there's fucking parts everywhere. There's all over the floor. There's tools everywhere. You should know, in your mind should be like, this shit's unorganized, man. This guy's going to build my shit? Or when you come to my shop, because this is a business promotion, Shit's clean. Shit's organized. The engine's been built. All engine stuff is over there on that cart. Everything is in that same area. I don't got tools everywhere. When you see customer cars, there's zero tools on their fucking windshield. There are tools on a tool cart. The car is not the place to hold parts and hold tools and all that stuff like that. So when you go to a shop like that, and when I first meet guys, I'm going to brief you on what you're getting, because that's my job. And then once we pass that, there's no reason to talk about that anymore. Some people don't make it past that point. I'll tell them straight up. I told one guy today, emailed me and trying to, like, I got this time and I got to be here. And I'm like, dude, your mission, your personal shit has nothing to do with the time. I say it has to be at 10:30. The shit needs to be here at 10:30. If it ain't here at 10:30, man, and it's not, and it's some things, again, I changed a little bit policies. If it's under Nihon yen, which is $200 1-on ratio Japanese yen to US dollar, it doesn't require reservation. I will give you one time to miss the appointment. Once you miss that appointment, the next time has to be reservation. You just fucked it up. For the guys who spent a certain amount of money, I know they're going to come through. When I tell them to drop their car off on Wednesday, it got to be like some substantial amount of stuff, like, a commander's call or whatever, for that guy to miss his appointment. And that generally never happens, man. Those guys are normally always on point. So customers get you as you rank up, you get more, you get more, I guess you get more rights to certain things. Certain people, if I don't know you and you order a part under a certain amount of money, you're going to pay for it. If I know you and I work with you a lot under a certain amount of money, I'll go out in front of it, because I know you're going to get me my cash the next day. I'm not going to be following some guy around trying to say, I got this, I got that, I got to work this. Again, this is my shout out this is my message to the guys who are military, because not all my company is not 100% military, but a good amount of it is military members. But for you guys out there, again, thank you for coming to my shop. But you got to realize, again, your mission, because it ain't my mission no more. I did my time, got out. Your mission, your daily timeline, all that stuff like that is your responsibility to work out and everything. When I give you a time and you say you can't make it, I'll give you another time until you can make that time. Again, I can't adjust. I can move a little bit, but I got meetings. I got my things to do. I got a lot of stuff to do, and I can't tailor it to you. And if that's going to hurt some people's feelings and you want to go somewhere else and cry about it, see you later. I don't want your money. And I've turned down, I looked at some of my invoices. When I first opened up, man, because people would just, they thought because I was a new business, not knowing that I was doing this shit for years. I've been doing this for years. I know what I'm doing. They figure I was new business. I got to like bend and mold and move around to where they're going to do. No, you're going to fucking do it my way or not at all. So I looked at my old invoices when I first opened up the first year, because I was just doing paperwork, and money that I didn't get, that money I could have got that I didn't get because I didn't conform to some dumbass whatever that the person wanted to do. Easily $15K. I think roughly $15K. I believe it was in Japanese yen, US to yen. It was roughly $15K in money that I kind of lost out on, because it would have been problematic. The way they wanted to do things was just kind of like surprising maintenance, which I don't do. If I don't know your car, if I never work with your car is going to require me to check it. No way. I can't take your word for it, because most of the times you're coming to me because you're not a performance shop. You're not a mechanic. I'm not saying mechanic because the mechanic kind of swap parts. I'm more of a specialist. That's what I like to call myself. That's what I am. I work on different makes and models. I don't swap parts right away. We check them, and if they're bad, then we get some new parts. Part swappers, they make you spend a lot of money, because all right, swap it out. Some things don't need to be swapped out. It could be one component with that needs to be changed out, and you can make it happen. Some things are fixable or whatever. Some guys, they're not in that level. They're just part swappers. So it's different. It's just different. It's different levels of things, and when you come here and everything, it's just a certain way I'm going to do things, because I know how it has to be done. Generally the way the email starts out, like, hey, I work on my car, but, or this and this, but I don't have the time. Like, all your excuses or whatever, that's your excuses. If you're coming to me, that means you've relinquished control of the situation. You can't handle it, because that's what it means. Because I'm telling you, I've been deployed. My career field was vehicle ops. We were pretty busy. I was just as busy as anybody out there, and I still got my shit done. When did I do it? I did it between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. and went to PT at 5 and did it. So excuses are bullshit, man. You didn't do it because you, number one, you can't do it. You don't have the skill sets to do it. You don't have the tools to do it. You're just lazy or whatever. Whatever your reason why you can't work on your car is your reason. When you bring it here, you relinquish control at that time. And at that time, I will sit you down and I will tell you, I don't need you to email me. I don't need you to do all my guys know that I get back to them. I never let more than 3 days go if it's a long job before I brief somebody on what's going on. If you follow me on Facebook, you're going to see almost daily reports on your car. You just see it right there. I did this today, blah, 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 and you'll see it. And then I'll hit you up with some more details on how things went and everything. But I always keep my customers informed with social media and all these different things. Oh, well, not social media, but the cell phones. There's no reason why you can't stay in contact with people. Let them know the days of old are gone as far as contact and all that stuff. Japanese still use fax machine, which I hate. But it is what it is. But I generally get back to guys. There's never any length. And then and kind of wrapping up because I don't want to beat this up too much. And again, I don't want to sound like I don't appreciate my customers. I do, but again, you have responsibilities as a customer. I have a responsibility as a shop, and those responsibilities have to be done on both parties to make everything happen. I can't be doing everything as a shop and you being a shitty customer and not answering emails and not arriving on time. That's customer responsibility. You have a responsibility to do things and make things happen. If I'm hitting you up like, hey man, where you at my side, and you're just down here 2 days later, you catch up and I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm waiting for 2 days for you to answer email and maybe somebody's watching that I'm talking to. If you're talking to you, it's not cool shit to do, man. Like, check your emails. That's your responsibility as a customer, to check your damn emails to response, not hit me up and then say, oh man, I responded. Yeah, 2 fucking days ago, man. Like, I'm supposed to wait around? So then that's when, I have my protocol, but there's times where I got to take the social media to catch a motherfucker because they ain't answering their phone calls, they ain't answering emails. So I hit them up and I see them liking shit, you know what I mean? Because even though we ain't friends, you can see the traffic. They on shit, they active, they liking stuff, whatever their screen names. And even though we ain't gotta be friends, I can still see your screen name up there being active from other people's stuff because you maybe follow some other cornball shit. So anyway, if I hit you up there, it's only because I need you to get back on your email. So when I hit you up there, that doesn't open up the portal for us to start doing Facebook and Instagram shit. That is for me to contact you there to get back on your shit. Hit me up on my phone, my business phone or email, so we can get this stuff done and then get the stuff out of there. So one thing I will stress out there, ain't nobody waiting on me. I put everything out there so that the customer's not waiting on me, because again, that's being the bad business owner. When you got people shit piled up in here and they're waiting for it, and it's not a legit reason why they're waiting on parts, stuff like that, then that's on the owner. Which, I mean, there's been some personal stuff that creeped in, and I may be total suspense busted probably like 10 or 12 days in 3 years. That's good. What I mean? Generally, everybody's car is done the day before or the day of when I say it's going to be done. Because I know, again, what I'm doing, we do the back and forth a little bit, talking about how your car is set up. I know you don't have like issues. I know you don't got a big ass crazy body kit with a whole goddamn underbody tray going all the way back, which should take longer to put on, stuff like that. So because we do the pre-gaming, the end result is better. You're a good customer, I'm a good business owner, and everybody's happy, and that's how it works. And 99% of my customers is like that, but it's always that 1% who want to do shit their way, and it's just not going to happen here. I'm sorry, sorry, not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. I'm not trying to control you, but you came to me. I didn't go to your house and make you come to me. You came to me, which means you want my service. My service is going to be done my way. It's going to be done efficient. Shit happens even if you're doing things right. So why would I put myself in a situation to be doing things wrong? And I have, to make things happen, or, to get that big sale or whatever, I have, kind of went against my, how should I say? I went against my system. And every time I've done it, it's been a kick in the ass for me. And it's resulted in me losing money. It's resulted in me losing a lot of time and things like that. And it's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I just apologize for that. That is making your life harder, that you can't follow my rules, but that's how it's going to be. So again, that's kind of, I really don't want to keep talking about the customer stuff like solo because it seemed like I'm unappreciative of the customers, but it's just kind of some of the things that have been going on since I moved to the new building. People thinking like things change. People thinking because I'm a single business that I'm supposed to mold and bend and everything. It's a lot of single guys out there and they wait. It's shops in Japan that has a 2-year waiting limit and they charge big money. All right, I lied. One thing I want to say is becoming back to me a lot. And I'm going to name drop the guy so the motherfuckers out there who talk to this guy know who is it. My guy Mick Slippy, who was on here before. Mick, I like Mick because he keeps it straight with me. We've actually had some fucking shouting matches before we worked together because, you know what I mean, I said something, he said something, or he said something and I didn't like it and I said something back. So we have a respect for each other, man. You know, we're pretty passionate guys. And one thing is, again, man, you know, guys were telling me that they can't believe that I'll stay in business because of the rates I charge. I'm like, dude, anybody out there who feels like I'm over fucking charging, you take my goddamn quote out there, you go to a Japanese shop. I can give you a friend Japanese shop who's seen my quotes and told me too yasui. Yasui means too cheap. And I'm like, no, it's not really cheap. I'm not charging a prestigious tax. I'm charging the time it takes for me, my resources and everything to do all that stuff like that. So you take my quote and you go to Top Secret, you go to June Auto, you go to all these other shops that have been around for a while and they got their prestigious level or whatever, and you take that shit there. Number one, you're going to wait like 6 months, 7 months to get seen by those guys. And then when you get seen by them, you're going to pay a reservation to get on their books, which is a lot higher than the reservation you pay here. And then your final job for the same quality, because I'm going to tell you right now, ain't no shop out there doing nothing I can't do. And I'm very confident. Again, that confidence and that cockiness, ain't no shop in Japan doing something I can't do. If they're doing something that I don't do, it's because I know who I'm dealing with and I'm not going to do certain things. For example, case in point, transmission overhaul. I'm not going to overhaul your transmission with OEM stuff when you can go buy the same transmission for $2,800. It's going to cost me double that to repair it. The parts and my time and labor cleaning everything, calibrating shit, putting all that stuff back. Why would you pay more in labor and parts than you can buy a brand new unit, brand new 0 miles, brand new GTR transmission, 2028, $2,900, brand new from Nissan, brand new from Toyota, R154, instead of going out there and buying some shitty shit with some bent up goddamn selectors? Why would you spend that much money on a used piece of shit transmission where you can go out there and buy a brand new? That's the way I approach my customers, and I save you guys money. I know I do. I can pull up a bunch of invoices, a bunch of guys praising me in my boxes or whatever. It is what it is. At the end of the day, can't please everybody. I know I'm doing everything right. If you don't like what I'm doing, go somewhere else. Go get that shitty service somewhere else, and then you'll come back here and you'll appreciate it. On that note, when you get your shit done somewhere else and you come back and it's messed up, you're going to get charged double because I got to go behind that person to fix it. So why don't you just do it the first time properly and get it done? Again, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but you can strive to be perfect. I've been over 3 years. Nobody's said, oh man, you done this, or they discovered some stuff like that or whatever. I take pictures of everything I do. So how can I not do shit properly? I got all my customers photos when I work on their extensive stuff. If I'm doing a check or whatever, I got the check. So if I'm doing somebody's tires, I'm changing your tires. You can see the tires that change. I ain't got to take pictures of that. But any extensive jobs, I got the actual pictures of it. So they've come back as a guy like, oh man, you didn't put a clamp on it. And actually that was a press lock fitting. It wasn't a clamp. It just pushes on. And this guy swerved me down. I didn't put a damn spring clamp on his car. I was like, dude, this is a picture before I got started to work. Oh, my bad. So it's helped me many times to prove that. Also, it helps me for what customers come in for future stuff. I can show them what's been done. And it's just fucking straight up proof, man. It's just straight up undeniable proof. You can't Photoshop. I'm good at, doing some graphic stuff, but I don't do Photoshop stuff. I'm not going to Photoshop some stuff in, and it's very obvious to see when people are doing stuff like that, doctoring stuff up. The pictures don't lie. So when you can tell under the bottom of your car, you got this certain mark, you got this certain color, you got this certain dent. When I take that transmission down, I take a picture of the rear mainsail going up. I take a picture of the flywheel going up. I take a picture of the torque specs. I take a picture of all that stuff so you can see, bam, 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 bam. It's been done. And if you go back in there and do something, my marks are moved off, that's on you. All cars carry a 6-month warranty when they come there for extensive work. Pretty much anything over, I would say, about $500, you get a 6-month warranty. Anything generally under that is not warranty work because it's not anything serious. But any serious work, you get a 6-month warranty. No questions asked, as long as you don't alter or take apart what I've already done. If I install something, which has happened before, if I install something and then you go in with your goobers and take that shit apart and try to put something else on, your shit is voided. It doesn't work anymore. If you leave it alone, and I could tell, I'll make signs and marks, and I do it to people's cars. I can do it. I'll make a mark somewhere, a scribe somewhere, and I can tell if it's been moved. I don't tell you about it. I don't show it to you in a picture. And if it's been moved and I find out it's been moved, you will pay me before your car leaves my shop, or I will keep it. That's how it works. So you wanna play dumbass games, you win dumbass prizes. Most of the guys that come there are pretty good. I want to get off of this because I kind of beat this up for a little bit. Most of those guys are good and everything. So that is on customers. Odds are, out there for, if you hear stuff, odds are it's bullshit. Because you ain't hearing it from me. If you hear something and you're like, oh man, I don't think about, come talk to me and I can tell you exactly what it is. More than likely is that other dude's been a bitch, straight up, because he grew up around a bunch of soft people. He wasn't told how to be a man, how to handle this shit. And the thing is, if you ain't come back to me and talk to me in my face, email me, call me, there's no problems. If I don't know that a problem exists, there's no problems. If you have a problem with something I've done or something I said, you come to me and talk to me, then we can handle that shit. Again, it sounds aggressive in nature, but again, your car and what you personally, because it is what it is, my family's priority. Your situation is not more important than what I've built up over the years. I'm not gonna physically harm you and lose all that shit and all that stuff I built over the years just over like some dumb stuff. So please trust when I say come see me. I ain't saying to fight. I got jiu-jitsu mats here, so if you're really angry, I can strangle you or whatever and show you some shit. I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, so unless you're a purple belt, I'm pretty much going to strangle you. I got gis here and all that stuff like that, so we can get stuff done and get the work done. So yeah, man, that's how it's going to work. So moving along on that, so I had to beat the customer stuff up for a good amount of time. I'm about to get out of here a little bit. 2020 is my next thing right here. 2020 is coming rapidly. It's already damn October 1. They're already doing the Halloween stuff by half Halloween. They're gonna start doing Thanksgiving, then Christmas is gonna hit. The weather's gonna start changing. 2020, I will formally return to more competition. Start more in the local EDS Ibisu Drift series. The local MSP drift events I will return to. I got the pro license, but again, man, since I got those licenses, so much has changed. My car that was legal in 2015 is probably not legal in many places anymore because the rules have changed so much, regarding bolting cages or whatever you do. My bolting cage is an approved FIA 16-point roll cage. People are going nuts with all this welding and shit or whatever. It has its purpose or whatever. That's a different thing for a different time. 2020 will see me more getting back into drifting, but also really, doing my JAF license, doing my time attack stuff. Drifting is cool. I like it personally, but drifting has brought me roughly zero money. I've been here 3 years. I've not built a drift related car for nobody else in 3 years since I've been here, which goes to show if I was a drift shop, I would have lasted like 3 months. And that would have been off of savings. I've had zero, honestly, virtually zero support from drifters in the local here. And again, if that's you watching it, it's not against you. It's just that drifters by nature have to fix their own stuff because you got to. So I was a drifter too. I didn't go to anybody, so it's the same thing. I'm not knocking you, but it's just to let you know that I've had zero support. Some of the people that have been saying shit is too high, I know who they are because everybody who said it, who has come to me for a quote, and I've never seen them again. So I can kind of put it together. When you don't contact me back, that means you think it's too high or whatever. So I know who you are. So trust me, I know who you are. So when I see you and I treat you funny, is because I know you were talking shit about me behind my back and then bullshit me to my face. And then if you're bold enough to bring it up, then we'll have that conversation, hopefully in front of a crowd, so I can cover it in front of multiple people to let people know this is how I operate, this is how I roll. I like a crowd because people can prove shit. It's not my word against your word. So in a nutshell, drifters have done shit for me since I've been open, and that's how it is. All my money has come from guys who do grip and guys who do street stuff. That's my money, and then also international trade and international parts has been how I've been open, how I've been running. So let's just make that clear. And as a result, I'm getting time attack builds, grip builds, time attack, rally. I got an interest to do that. I got a few Subarus, which I want to break into that, and different genres of people who are generally just drivers. Drifters are drivers and become mechanics by trade because again, you got to do that. But normally a grip driver, they just drive. They're not really into making this shit go fast. So those are the guys I'm going to be targeting. Those are the guys I'm going to be going towards to get money because again, business, you got to change. You got to move things around and do things like that. So that's what 2020 is going to be involving. A lot more grip, a lot more Tsukuba, a lot more Fuji, some Suzuka and stuff like that. Looking to get on the Gunsai Toge, the Cycle World joint in Gunma. And make that happen and everything. So just a lot more stuff that's going to be going on in 2020 and things like that. So kind of moving to that, what I need 2020 to happen, I got builds. So for the guys who've been here, you've seen all my cars here on the left side. Those are all my cars or either the 6 cars that are stored for customers. Everything else is mine. So as you can see, I got a lot of cars. It's noble, like I told guys that dropped through and said, oh, you see all these cars, even though they're some of them need, body work and stuff like that because they've been used over the years. It's noble to have all these cars, but the thing about it, you can't, unless you got a certain amount of bank account, you can't work on all those cars. And what I'm doing to actually help put money into the business is fix it. There's certain, like my DR30, that ain't going nowhere. My R33, which you guys see me use over the years, my second one that I picked up in 2009 or 2010, 2009. That one's still out there, still alive. Is a little bit battered, but it's going to come back to life and everything. And there's a couple cars that I need because they're going to be my staple kind of resume cars. And then there's some shit I don't need because I just got it because it was a good deal or I traded for something or whatever. So I'm going to fix a lot of those cars up. I'm going to document them. I'm not going to do the day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm just going to do the documents and then bam, all at once so you can see it. And the car will probably be already sold or will be used as a selling tool. So I'm going to fix up a lot of the cars and then sell them, get that money back in here. The prices are going to be reasonable based on the market plus my labor and parts. That means I do not give a shit about how much you can find something on Google because I have nothing to do with that car. I didn't build that. That's not my time. That's not my parts. My parts, my time in general is going to be recuperated, or I just keep the fucking car and we move on like that. So again, when guys come at you, or for guys that are selling stuff, want to be combative, they're not looking to buy the stuff. Tell them to screw off, man. Don't waste your time with people. Be blunt with them. Tell them pretty much if you want to be a cheap ass or whatever, ask your boss for more time and a half or whatever, so you can afford it and start running your mouth like a little coward, man. So again, if you ain't got the money to buy it, get your level up, get your game up, get your money up, and then stop being a little coward bitch and buy it. If you can't buy it, go work harder and until you can buy it. But don't come on somebody's post because you can't afford something and berate those guys. So those bills will be out there. They're going to cost money. I'm not trying to rape the game, but again, I'm going to be compensated for what I do, and you're going to lose money regardless. I can't get every dime back that I put into it. People will try to do that. You see those cars selling, you got a stock, 240 with a LS1 and dude's trying to get 26K. Like, dude, come on, man. The car, the time you took to put in that, the car, the engine swap in general, it didn't even equal that. So how are you going to gouge for that much, 15K or 12K more? How are you going to gouge for that, man? So you got to be realistic. I am realistic with mine. I've been in this game for a long time. Big Game Hit on the forums. You guys go back and pick Big Game Hit, BIGGMEHIT, and you can see all my stuff going back to like 2000 something on the forums, man. So I've been in the game for a while. I have the rights to talk how I am. And I've proven I've done many things. I mean, damn, I'm a black dude from East Baltimore in Japan running a tuner shop. So I mean, shit, I gotta have some kind of backing to something to stand on. So when you come on my domain and you want to talk your shit and you only been in the game for 5 years, I'm going to shut it down right away because number one, you need to learn respect out there, and you need to know when I've been in the game 20 something years, going on 20, 21, 22, whatever. I'm not counting no more. I started in 1999, whatever you do the math or whatever. That's when I started this game. That's when I got into the game and I start turning wrenches right away because my buddies had the money, but they were scared. I was like, let me do that swap. Let me do the SI swap. Let me do that for Jarvis or whatever. So they had the money, I had the skills or the courage to do it, and as a result, I make a living doing it. This is what I do for a grind. But you know what I mean? It is what it is, man. So, you come in when I go to, again, saying all that to say, when I go to somebody else's domain, I don't, I go to top. Actually, I don't visit shops, so it doesn't really happen because I'm not a fanboy. Sorry. Not sorry. I don't go to shops because I've been in service for 3 years, and I know for sure there's been guys who shop owners and they've been in Amori for whatever reason. They ain't come see me, so why would I take time out of my schedule to go see them when they don't want to see me anyway? That's how I roll. So again, if you're out there, you're watching this, hey man, why you don't come see me? You've been in Amori, you've been through Amori. You can't stop in 5 minutes to check out my shit, and you want me to go see your shit? Fuck that. It's a two-way street. If I know for sure that somebody's gonna come see me or whatever, and it's petty, it seems kind of petty, but it ain't. You don't invest time. Don't invest your time into somebody else who don't give a shit about you or don't even think about investing time into me, into you. Talking in perspective. Just carry it like that, and then you'll have less shit going on, man. So I pass all these spots all the time when I'm out there. If I ain't coming to see you, it's because I know for sure you ain't coming to see me, straight up and down. So that's how it is with that, and that's the bills and all that stuff like that. Again, I'm about to start ranting. I mean, I already knocked out my list and everything. The cappuccino is happening. That's coming up. I'm actually going to do because that is a lengthy one. That will be kind of a part series and everything. I got a video coming up for that probably next week, but I got a lot of customer stuff to knock off. As you guys know out there, the way I run my system, customer stuff comes first. The customers do pay for me to keep the business going. So my personal stuff, unless I'm not working on my personal stuff unless I'm looking to flip that to keep my doors open. So if you see me working on a car that's mine, it's my business anyway. It's not none of yours unless your car is on a lift and I'm like 2 days behind or whatever. Then you kind of say, hey man, what the fuck was going on? Which nobody ever does because I don't do stuff like that. Customer cars in here. Customer cars is priority. So I don't put myself in that position. So I never had that issue going on. So for those guys out there, I feel bad for you, but step your game up, treat your customers right, do their shit first, and then get to yours. You need that money to fix your car. They need their car back to promote your business. So you gotta be smart about that. So a lot of bills coming up. I'll be trying to do some Netflix style stuff. I'll probably get with some local videographers and get some second hands in here and get a little team of I do shit alone by myself, man. But I do realize analyzing myself, man. I do need to develop some kind of little team. The thing about here is different because the military guys are here for a couple of years, they in and out, and then you got to kind of keep doing it and keep doing it. So instead of doing that shit, man, I stay by myself, man. Quan has been like pretty much the most solid guy I've known since we met in like 2015. He's been like the most consistent guy, but even still, he got his stuff going on. He got stuff he has to do. So even though he helps me out, I don't rely on him because he has stuff to do. So I can't be like, oh man, I waited on you to paint all this stuff or whatever. I did it myself. I made a way to do it. Took a little bit longer, but I got it done. So that's just like I can kind of go on. I'm not trying to be like a motivational speaker, but let's kind of keep it real for the guys out there who want to do a lot of things and everything. It may take like an hour longer, but get it done. The best thing out there is just not to wait on people, because the thing about it, human nature, as much as people say they're there for you, and I mean, in some cases, some people out there really have big hearts, but that big heart stuff will end up leading to a lot of shortfalls in your own life. And then later on, when you want to get some stuff done, then you start making those dumbass posts on Facebook about, oh man, when I need people ain't around or whatever. You did that to yourself because you relied on people to be there for you when they weren't there for you. I'm not going to take time on my day. I know I'm not going to take time on my day to do anything for somebody because number one, it's business. And if I'm doing something, I'm getting paid for it. Number two, I got a family to take care of, their priority. And anything after that, that's your business. So just know that going in, that just like your family's a priority to you, my family's a priority to me. My family is not more important than your family, and your family's not more important than my family. So long as we understand that and stay straight, we can be cool. the minute you think your family and your shit is more important than mine, I can't fuck with you. I can't work with you, and you got to go somewhere else. Because you're disrespecting me, and then that you know, I mean, again, I say before, man, I'm not trying to be a badass, not a violent guy, man, but some people, they just make you want to slap the shit out of them, man. And you know, it's I've called myself reformed. A lot of people don't know, you know, about, you know, where I'm from and how I grew up and stuff like that. And again, I'm not a thug or whatever, but I've had to put people in their place, man. Some people are used to doing shit stuff to people and getting away with it. And sometimes you gotta jack somebody up, and it don't happen to me. It did happen one time. History lesson, man. I think I told guys this story before, man. I was sick, you know, whatever. I mean, it's just a podcast. I could kind of get off topic. Almost done here. I was about 16, working at Old Country Buffet, whatever how you want to say it. And there was this guy, man, older guy, man. I was 16. He was older. Like he was like 30s. He was like 30, maybe 34, and I'm 16. So in my mindset right now, I wouldn't have did what he did, because he was older, but he was also in like kind of the streets, for real. And we working together, man. And you know, you get kind of, as a young guy, you work around older guys. Older guys, you know, they know the rules. They know the rules of the game because they're older. They're 30s, whatever. And you're 16. You're a young buck. And that's, you know, some of the guys that come in my lane, they're 24. Like, dude, you got a lot of growing up to do and shit. You're young. I'm 36. You know, and I lived. I'm 36, and I've done a lot of shit, man. So anyway, the dude, we were playing around and everything, and one guy I know now, he was instigating. He was kind of like he was a fucking snake. Now that I know the guy, you know, I remember his name and everything, but is irrelevant to bring it up because it's irrelevant. So the guy was instigating this shit, man, and kind of like psyching me up and saying, you know, oh man, you gotta let him say that to you. And then I say something to him, and then he would say to that guy, oh man, you gotta let him say that to you. He kind of go back and forth, like he was just like trying to start some shit, man. And eventually I started, you know, I was 16 I was like 16, 17 or something like that. And, you know, I was playing football. I was starting to grow. So, you know, I hit people or whatever. So I felt like, you know, I could handle myself. Didn't do any formal fighting or any training back then other than some schoolyard fights or whatever, which, you know, I held my own, you know, watching kung fu theater. So, you know, he kind of started saying some stuff, and I started saying some stuff because, I mean, I wasn't afraid of him. And then something happened, man, and like we kind of got back into like kind of the playful mode, and then like started doing the mom shit. And then I said something to the fact where I didn't say his mom was a bitch, but I was like, I said he was a bitch or whatever. And you know, when you're playful with people, you know, in high school, you see guys call guys each other bitches or whatever, and it's like kind of endearing. But when you don't know somebody, and even they take things a different way. So I call him a bitch, you know, whatever, and he was like, oh, I'm a bitch or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, this guy's like, I don't know if he's serious or whatever. I kind of kept going with it, and he was like, all right, and he kind of got really serious. Mood changed. Something was wrong. He's like, all right, I'll see you after work. And then I was like, all right, man, whatever. Now we were busy and shit, so we, you know, man, this was around about maybe 6:30 or something a day, and then normally we don't finish up to around about 9. So 9, and then we clean up. So we don't leave the buffet until around about 10. So we're going to the bus stop. I don't forgot the whole situation, man. But he was like serious about this shit. So he knew because he's older. He knows, you know, situation awareness a little bit more than I did. So he know after the work day, we would all go to the bus stop together. The crew, the people who had cars would take cars and leave. So we're at the bus stop chilling or whatever and waiting for the bus to come. And then I seen his brother's car. And I'm like, fuck, man. It's like as soon as I seen the brother's car, I knew it was up. So his brother pull up and everything. He hop out the car and everybody just like stopped. Everybody just stopped talking. And I kind of got up when I went over to him to like, you know, I was like, you know, I was, because I knew at that moment, as soon as I seen him, it clicked. I mean, I was pretty at 16. I wasn't dumb. I knew what was up. And he was serious about saying, you'll see me after work. So he come over there. And the first thing I see when everything started kicking in, because I'm not from the streets, meaning I've been in the streets. I grew up in them, but I mean, I was raised properly. And, you know, I mean, people took care of me, but I've seen enough stuff to have situation awareness. One thing I've seen, his brother demeanor was pretty always normally pretty cool. His brother didn't have an issue with me, but he had an issue with me. So his other guy had an issue with me, so his brother kind of had an issue with me for that moment. Which I talked to his brother the day after, and he just kind of filled me in like, hey man, you can't say that to people like that. Which calling them a bitch like that. And then the dude James, the dude name's James or whatever, it's 1,000 James up there. He probably not watching this, but the dude like actually about 2 weeks after that, man, he kind of like, hey man, about the situation. He kind of like somewhat of an apology about this shit, but it was like, I did it because of this. So he kind of threw a sly apology, but said he did it. So anyway, what happened? His brother was standing back there, and his brother had a gun. So his brother, again, I was growing up. So I mean, the thing about it, if it seems like if I would have like got the best of him and beat him up or whatever, he probably would have shot me or whatever, and that probably would have happened. These guys are they're from inner city Baltimore, different cut from a different cloth or whatever. I had shit to do. I had my thoughts, trained to what I'm doing kind of now, somewhat. So I had a future, man. I don't know what these guys doing. Probably not doing much, to be brutally honest, the way they carried themselves that night. But anyway, the dude come up to me. The story's long as shit, I know. The dude come over to me or whatever, and without even saying nothing, man, he didn't punch me. There was like a slap, like it was a life lesson. That's what it was. So the dude like slapped me. Then I'm like, I didn't cry or whatever. It just kind of like took it. I play football, so honestly, the shit didn't hurt. And then the reason I didn't do anything back to the guy is because, again, I'm looking at his brother with a gun. His brother's no shit. He's showing that he has a gun in his waist. I don't know if the shit was loaded or whatever, but then he didn't say nothing. I'm like, dude, what's up, man? What's going on? Then he at the moment he hit me again, like slapped me the other way or whatever. And then he was like, hey man, he was like, you call me a bitch, right? And then he hit me one more time. So it was about 3 times he hit me, open hand slaps. And again, they weren't like trying to like knock me out. He was just like, now looking back, I know what the guy was doing. He was kind of like, he was showing me like, he was a loose cannon a little bit by doing what he did. He knew I wasn't going to retaliate because his brother had a gun there, and I probably was fearful that he was going to shoot me, kill me, or whatever. So I didn't do anything back. So I just kind of took it, and I knew what was up. He was like, don't call me out my name again or whatever. Said what he said, and I was like, all right, man. I was like, all right, man, cool, whatever. And then that was that. I didn't cry or whatever. At the end of it, it kind of did like, the dude, you ever see the dudes like anger cry. I was I was embarrassed because it was like about 6 people watching the whole situation, and they were like, all right, man, everything's cool, whatever. And I was more embarrassed than anything. They watched the whole situation. There was no Instagram, nothing back then. It was only flip phones and shit, like Ericsson, no kids. There was no cameras, so nobody didn't world star me or whatever. So I kind of had like a few like anger tears well up or whatever. I think maybe one tear came down, and then I got my shit together or whatever. And right then and there, it was a life lesson, man. Don't fuck with grown people, man. And the whole story and getting with that is when you come into my lane, I'm gonna fucking check you and put you in your place, just like that guy did me at that bus stop. I don't have to hit you. I can just look at you and say what I gotta say, and then we're done. And that's the thing, when you come into somebody else's lane or whatever, man, you gotta respect, understand where they're coming from. You gotta put into your mind what this person's been through, and you can't take for granted what another person's been through in their life, what they're capable of, things like that. So when you come to me in my shop, in my domain, in my atmosphere, and you think you're gonna get over and walk over me, that shit ain't happening, man. And again, I ain't gotta hit you, I ain't gotta do nothing, but you will know that you crossed the line. You will know immediately. I'm not gonna pull any punches. I'm not gonna talk about that shit later. We're gonna deal with it right there, face to face. And the thing about it is just me and you when we doing with that. So I ain't putting on a show for nobody. If somebody's there, it ain't a show. It's just an audience to see what's going on, and then they'll fucking learn by osmosis. I shouldn't do that to nobody. I shouldn't come to somebody else's domain and disrespect them. And when you do that, you open yourself up for that. It just depends on who you run into. If you run into somebody that's passive, you're gonna get away with it. That person's gonna go on Facebook and cry about it and shit, and you're not gonna see it because you guys probably not friends. With me, I'm the furthest from passive aggressive. I'm aggressive. So you're going to know right then and there that you did something dumb, and we're going to deal with it. You're going to learn from it. If you don't want to come to my shop no more, you don't come to my shop no more. If you don't want to deal with me and talk to me or whatever no more, you don't deal with me and talk to me no more. But then when you go around town to spread business, the next time I see you, guarantee it's going to happen again because you're now you're slandering my name, and I didn't do anything wrong. And it's happened a few times since I've been here, and luckily the fucking person who's done it every time has made a made a point of avoiding anywhere I go. And when they see me from a distance, I notice they change direction real quick or whatever. So again, I'm not a fucking tough guy. I'm not a gladiator. I hold my own. I will not let anybody walk over me, and I don't do anything to walk over anybody else. So I respect people as people, but when you come to me, again, like you're better than or you're higher than, you're not. You're on the same fucking level as me. You breathe the same air as me. You bleed the same blood as me or whatever. So it doesn't matter your color, race, religion, or whatever. You ain't better than me. I ain't better than you. We're people. So I'm going to close out on that. Again, this has been it's a bit longer because, again, I've been away for a little bit. Podcasts will come more frequently. Even if they're like 30, 40 minutes, they will be more frequently. So, again, my apologies for being away. But I was handling business. Trust me. I was handling business as always. The business is getting bigger. The circle is getting a little bit bigger and everything and stuff like that. And that's it. So kind of before I get out of here, though, you've been looking at this the whole time. Sorry about that. You've been looking at this the whole time. This is the jumper I'm wearing right here. This is the Bridgemoto jumper. This one right here is for guys who are about like maybe 5'10" or so with a 36-inch waist. You can wear these. Anybody else with a bigger waist, your fat ass can't fit in it. I can't fit in it. My thighs can't fit in it. So I got about 3 of these for sale. Check out pinkustyle.com to order those. These are they were one make only. These are the last time I wore these was a Sakuba. These are by Bridgemoto as well. A Bridgemoto SFI, FIA rated shoes, fireproof and all that good stuff. And then also the fireproof Bridgemoto gloves. Again, all that stuff can be found on bridgemoto.com, Toge Techniques, and you order your stuff there. Bridgemoto is pretty much my leading guys for my all my safety gear and all that stuff like that, all my jumpers and all that good stuff like that. So Bridgemoto take care of me with that. And those are my guys for helmets and all that good stuff. So if you ask for stuff or whatever, that's going to be Bridgemoto. So again, I like to give a little shout out to all the guys right there. And then the last thing I just seen right here was the Drifting Goku magazine. I'm an authorized dealer for Drifting Goku. If anybody want to read that, I mean, honestly, you can't probably read it because this is all Japanese. If you want to order those, I got those on the website as well. Get those monthly and everything. So Yoshi Jeffrey is out there, translating stuff. Go check him out. And he's doing a good. He's like a half breed or whatever, and he's translating stuff over and doing all that stuff. He's been in the game for a while. Yoshi, everybody knows Yoshi out there. So again, finally want to get out of here. It's been well over an hour. I was supposed to be home. Told my wife I was gonna be home, but I gotta do some stuff. She's cool. She holding it down. Strong woman. And that's the reason why I can do stuff I do. You got to have a strong partner to do things properly, because if you got a nagging partner or you got a partner in a contributing month, all the stuff I do right here is a direct. She probably not going to watch. She's definitely not going to watch this, but it's a direct result of my wife helping me and her family. I do a lot of stuff by myself and do everything, but you do need people in this world to get ahead. And nobody can do it solo. Anybody that tells you they're doing it solo by themselves is bullshit. I do a lot of stuff solo, but I do have a group of people that I rely on to get things done, and I help them on a return. So again, it's going to be Donald signing off from a new studio, Pinku Style Studio version 2, and I'm going to see you guys later. And definitely be sure to like, subscribe, and share to get the word out there. And again, this is 100% for me always. I'm always going to be 100%. You're always not going to agree with what I say, but it's for me. It's for me saying it. Ain't nobody else. Ain't nobody else out there got their hand on my ass with a hand like that talking. And when I say shit out my mouth, it's stuff I've been through in my life. Logical thinking, thinking about others, and just keeping it straight up and real and being real with people, man. That's how it's going to be. So again, if you like that, stay tuned. If you don't like it, go somewhere else to fake people. You have a choice. So see you guys later. It's going to be Donald Jackson signing out again. Pinku Style Masawa Japan. See you guys later. Peace.